Welcome everybody. Today we are in Warmond and we're going to make a video about 6 different Bajadas. And in this video we're going to explain what Bajada should you use. And we're going to start right now. Bam. Okay. Ah, lekker boelie! I like it. You like it? Good match. When to use the specific Bajada, because you have also different kind of lobs. What is a Bajada? Well, the translation, Bajada is downwards in Spanish. So a Bajada is something that you have to play down and after the glass. If it's going to be like a straight shot, it might not be a Bajada because it's straight. Baja means down or low. So today we're going to focus on bringing the ball down from the back of the court. So the goal of this video is that you can find your Bajada that suits your playing style. So these are 6 Bajadas and maybe 1 or 2 suit you. And now you have to know when you should use that specific Bajada. We're also going to explain what are the positive sides to that specific Bajada and what are the downsides to that specific Bajada. So we're going to help you choose what Bajada you have to use today. So there are 2 different kinds of lobs, and those lobs decide or should decide what Bajada you should play. If it's a super high lob and you have a lot of rebound, you can do a lot more with the Bajada. If it's a low lob and it's more low bouncy, you cannot do the smash Bajada, for instance, but it's more likely to play a more of a straighter shot. To start off, the smash Bajada. So the smash Bajada is a smash, but then after the ball bounced from the glass. With the smash Bajada, you want to play this when the opponent's playing a very high lob, because you want all the time of drill to get underneath the ball to smash it. What can you do with the smash Bajada? You can do everything with the smash Bajada. So you can play with your maximum power, you have maximum variation, but you can only play this when they play a high lob. If they play low lobs, you cannot play the smash Bajada because you don't have any time to have the contact point as high as possible. So one of the best aspects of the high contact point Bajada is that you can play to the middle and also give a low contact point to the player that is at the net here. So they cannot really attack you after you play this shot. You can either play this on their bodies or to the center. I like this one a lot because if you play it cross, it might end up in the corner and the rebound is not so big. The only downside to the smash Bajada is that the ball has a lot of rebound. It's a flat shot. If the ball hits the glass, it will still bounce up quite high. So if your opponent dodges the ball, like they are in the Matrix, they can counter after you played the Bajada. If you play this high Bajada, you cannot take the net because it's too fast to go to the other side. So this is the only downside, is that you cannot take the net after this fast shot. You have to stay back for at least 1 shot, and the ball has a lot of rebound. You can also play this softer version on the cone to the fence. You can especially play this to players that are further away from the net. I would not recommend to play it fast if your opponents are positioned around the second post. If it happens that they are here, you can play the soft ball to the fence to make them move a lot. If your opponent is very close to the net, I would recommend to play this fast Bajada. I will do this to players that are not so good in blocking. So against good tennis players, I will actually try to play a softer Bajada. Against very good paddle players, but maybe not so good in blocking, I would recommend to play a faster one to the body. And that faster one to the body would be deep and into the corner. So if they dodge it, the ball ends up being in the corner. It's very complicated to defend. And it's not so easy getting the ball back. And it's okay to hit fast to the bodies, because your opponents don't have to be at the net. That's their decision. On the right, it's very similar. So if you play on the right side, you will not have so many Bajadas. But you can also play a soft ball to the center, you can play to the fence, and you can play deep into the corner. So it's copy-paste, even though you're left-handed. Moving on to the second bajada and the third bajada, which is the bandeja bajada and the Vibora bajada. Difficult. And the main difference is that your contact point is much lower when you're playing the Vibora bajada and the bandeja bajada, because they are more there. So this is a shot that you would play if the lob is more medium high. You can play it when the ball is super high because you have time, but with the medium lob, the ball is more likely to be lower and further away from you. So then it's more natural to play the Vibora bajada or the bandeja bajada. And the biggest difference is that if you hit the ball lower, it would mean that these cones get a little bit further away. So what will happen is that it is slightly more complicated to play the ball on the feet of the net players. So if you play against me and you play a Vibora bajada or a bandeja bajada, I am more likely to hit the ball there, or this player is more likely to hit the ball more around their belly button high. Which is a big difference, because if you play the smash bajada, the net player would hit the ball maybe underneath the knees, and that will be very complicated. So what I would highly recommend is that you watch what kind of lob you are getting, and then you try to find the best possible option. So also if we go to this cone, it's quite complicated to make the angle if the contact point is head high. It could be possible with the bandeja, but the biggest difference is that the bandeja is bouncing backwards, it's rotating backwards. So that will mean that the ball is floating a little bit more. So the bandeja is an easier shot to execute, but the ball will float and my contact point at the net would be higher. So this is not an option anymore. So I'm going to remove this cone away, and that will mean that if you choose to play bandeja bajada or Vibora bajada, is that you have less variation. You can do less with the ball. If I'm at the net, I will know what will happen, because my opponent doesn't have so much variation. So it's either fast to the corner, to the corners, or to the center, and two options have been removed. Why would you choose a Vibora bajada and why would you choose a bandeja bajada? Well, it also is like personal preference. I find the Vibora easier than the bandeja. For some people the bandeja is easier than the Vibora, so then I would recommend to play the easiest shot, because you're at the back of the court and you just need to try to win the net. Especially if it's a medium lob, you cannot pressure so much. If you have time, do it, but it's not that you have to destroy your opponents. What is a spin bajada? Well, a spin bajada is a ball that's semi-high, around shoulder height, that I can play down with spin. And this spin makes it very interesting, because with spin I can play down on the feet, down to the fence. I can make a lot of short angles. You're able to play the very soft ball on the feet of your opponent, and that is super useful. Especially if you play against hard hitters, they don't like these softer shots. If you play against players that are playing far from the net, good tennis players, I would recommend to play the softer bajadas with spin to the fence. So the topspin bajada is something you only play on a lower lob, because you can play it from shoulder height. The topspin bajada is something that has to suit you, because it's not so easy to execute. So I would highly recommend to play it when you feel very comfortable. So when you play the backhand bajada, well, this is something you have to do if you are a right side player and you're right-handed, because the ball's in the middle and you can play it instead of your partner that has to go all the way to your side and takes the shot. Or you play on the left side and the lob is parallel. The backhand Bajada is a shot that you have to let drop. So you can play it on a high ball, you can play it on a low ball, but you need to let it drop until shoulder height. Otherwise it's very difficult to execute that shot. So I would recommend to play it from here, shoulder height, not there because you cannot generate any power. It is not so easy to execute, but it's difficult to see for the net players where the ball is going to bounce. Because they cannot see, you turn a lot, and that makes it very difficult to read what you're going to do with the backhand Bajada. So if you can play it, it's very effective, but I would highly recommend to, if you have time, to play a bandeja with the forehand side. What do you prefer, backhand Bajada or forehand Bajada? A flat Bajada, and this is something that you can only do when the ball is like medium, or you can do it with a high ball, but it's something that you play softer, so you would not play so fast with this shot. So if it's here, you can play a soft ball down if it's medium high. If it's high, you can go for more power, and you will play the flat Bajada if it's more there. Ladies and gentlemen, I forgot about the outro. I'm already in my coat, but I was thinking about you and I have to say goodbye, of course. So thank you all for watching the video. I hope to see you next Monday. Let us know if you want to request any video about what kind of shot. And see you in the next episode. Hasta luego. Ciao. Adios.